Hi there, I'm Java Jim with First Line Equipment. And you're probably saying, look at that knucklehead right there covering my ears and my head. And the purpose of this video is blue. What's blue? Water. And today, with the Lelit Giulietta in front of us, we're going to talk a little bit about water and water treatment. So, we get this question a lot, or multiple questions regarding water. And let me take off my hood so I can hear myself better. When you're plumbing in a machine, you do need to treat the water. And if you're using a machine in tank mode, you do need to treat the water. But today, we're going to go over about the ones that get plumbed in. And typically, what happens when you're plumbing in a European machine, you get a stainless steel braided hose, typically. Sometimes it could be a different type of tubing. But the fitting here is 3/8 BSPP, which is basically a British metric thread that does not go into anything in the US. Anything. And typically, what we'll do is, years ago, what the technicians did and we did and others is just take 3/8 and just basically put Teflon, or you could scratch that off the video, I didn't say that word, plumber's tape, and basically cross thread until the hose was no longer loose. Now, there have been some other options on our website, and I don't have it here. One is that you can run a flex tube, and we have a John Guest fitting that will basically go into the BSPP, which you'll find on the link below. But there's no water treatment there unless you have your own system. And when I'm talking about water treatment, I'm not talking about just filtering. Filtering only takes out the contaminants, okay? Lead, chlorine, particulates, bad taste, bad odor, but it doesn't take out the killer of espresso machines, which is magnesium and calcium. So the best solution that we have found to date, and we have water softeners that if you want to just put a water softener, we sell those separately, which connect into these BSPP. But what we really like, and we were probably one of the first companies carried here in the US, was the BWT. We do sell multiple versions. Right now, I believe maybe it's 2 or more of the valves. There's a premium edition and then a standard edition. And I say valves, pardon me, filter heads. And maybe I can look like the filter head. Again, blue for water. Okay, there's a bracket. We have a kit that we sell. It's called the BWT Space Install. You search that, you can find basically the kit. We have an assortment of items, and the most important thing I have over here. But we have a meter that measures how much water goes through. We have a flush valve. A lot of treatment systems do not have flush valves because here's one filter, and here's the other filter in different sizes from BWT, and you can use this basically depending on how hard your water is. There's charts in their instruction manual, how much water it handles, and you want to replace these every 6 months, and that's kind of why you want the meter. When you set this up, you can put the meter on to watch how much water is flowing through, so it'll tell you either 6-month mark or how much water's flowed through and to replace it. So if the cartridge is too small and you use it all up within, say, 3 months, means you need to upsize the cartridge. If you have a big one and it's lasting, you only used half of the water, you need to downsize. So we have the meter, and then again the flush valve. Let me get back to that. A lot of these filters have paper sediment inside. And what happens is with the paper sediment, if you don't have a flush valve where you flush 3 gallons of water through the filter and the filter head, those paper contaminants or sediment will flow through your beautiful espresso machine. The one here, Lelit Giulietta. And it will clog the valves. And when the valves get clogged, maybe the boiler won't refill or water won't pass through the group head. So that's why we like BWT, because the flush valve, you can flush out that paper sediment or contaminants and then get it working, going towards your machine. Now, why do we like BWT? The reason is not only filters, but it actually helps soften the water. It takes out the magnesium and calcium. And to give you a little story, we have a customer in Colorado in the mountains, and the water is extremely hard. And he bought a machine from us in 2008. It was a $15,000 machine for a cafe in a major hotel. And he had to get descaling done every 3 to 6 months because the water was so hard, nothing worked. And in 2015, he called us and said, Jim, I want to get another machine, but I want to send this one back because it needs a complete rebuild. All of these descaling ate away at most of the metal. We need an internal rebuild. And he's like, what do you suggest for the new machine? And I said, BWT. See this big bad boy right here? That's what he replaces every 3 months because the water is so hard. Guess how many descalings he's done since 2015? Tick, tock, tick, tock. Put your comment down below. And if you're right, we'll like it. If you're wrong, we ain't gonna like it. But put your comment down below and let me know what you think, how many descalings he's had. So again, we really, really like this system. We do have another water softening system where it doesn't filter, just softens the water. The cartridges may seem a little expensive, but it's actually an insurance policy to keep your machine up and running, because the last thing you want in your cafe, coffee shop, or even in your home is the machine breaking down when you need it most. Now, we've talked about all this other stuff. In the beginning, what I said was BSPP, right? So here's the filter head. There's an arrow, which means that's the way the water is flowing. So this way, the arrow is coming this way towards the machine. And if you look, BSPP, okay? This is nice and tight. Of course, I'd get a little wrench to tighten it more. Now, BWT has this hose, BSPP. Make sure I have the right side here. Maybe I have the wrong side. Nope, I have the right side. Okay, 3/8 BSPP. Nice and tight on the hose. And voila, we have your NPT connection to underneath your sink if you put a T there, or to your water line. This is basically national pipe thread here. So the one thing that we like is that it makes it easier for your plumber or your installer to connect. And that's why we kind of like this whole system, from flush valve, meter, to the types of filters and softeners that are included, to the filter head, the bracket, and the hose. There's also another option. You can also put a water pressure regulator. That's also available by BWT. But the most important thing to get out of this video is water treatment, why you're selecting BWT, the valve, the meter, and to make the connection as easy as possible. If you have any other questions or comments, please ask down below. Hopefully you like my blue, you like the blue here, and hopefully you give your machine some really good water so it does last a long time. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and have a great day.